All right, well, with no further ado, I want to welcome Walter Washington today from Happy Retreat. Walter, many of us know Walter, and he has presented for Rotary before, along with Randy Hilton and I think Matt Ward. They've been frequently kind of updaters for our Rotary Club, so I'm excited to have you back and give us an update on Happy Retreat. I am going to share some slides and some information that he presented with me. So Walter, you just let me know when you're ready to do that.
Okay, well, great. Well, first, thank you for having me. It's I wish we were a little more able to get together in a little closer together, but this is what has to work. The first, I wanted to give you an update of what we've been doing at Happy Retreat and sort of our latest accomplishments. Julie, if you could show that first picture that I sent about the, many of you have been to Happy Retreat, I think, and so you may be aware of the outdoor stone kitchen and smokehouse. And I'm happy to report that the exterior restoration of those buildings is complete. It's something we've been working on for several years. It was made possible by the generous donation of Bob and Tia McMillan of Shepherdstown, who've taken a great interest in Happy Retreat and particularly these old buildings. The history of these buildings is the brick smokehouse probably dates to the time of Charles Washington, probably the late 18th century. And the stone kitchen, which was built adjoining it, probably dates to the ownership of Judge Douglas in the 1840s. And we're very excited that actual brick beehive oven, original to it, which would have been used for baking bread and other things. So we hope eventually to be able to have demonstrations of cooking in that building, but that's still a ways away. But anyway, we're excited to get that much done. Then on to the next page. I've included a floor plan of the first floor there, and we received a $10,000 grant from the DAR through the local Beeline chapter to restore the rear room of the west wing. So you're looking at this diagram on the right-hand side, the rear room, which is a room at the top of the diagram, is what we're going to be calling the showroom. It's going to be an exhibit space, which we'll be able to use to exhibit exhibits about history and so forth. We're very excited to get this done because this will give us really a big step forward in the restoration of the first floor. And then on the left-hand side of the house, the east side, the rear room on the back there, we are going to be converting into an events kitchen, caterer's kitchen, basically, so that hopefully when this virus is over with and people can start going out and enjoying doing things again, we'll be able to hold events and even have rental events at Happy Retreat, and that kitchen will be used for events. And we're hoping to get that at least in basic shape by the summer. I think it'll be a work in progress for a while, but we don't have to do everything at once. We just want to get it in basic usable shape for as soon as we can, so that when the virus goes away, we'll be able to get into activities at Happy Retreat. So those are our two current activities in at the house. And then you want to go down to the next page. So what we're looking on now is for the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years, we've had an annual Christmas open house. I don't know how many of you have been to it, but it's been a wonderful event that's attracted just hundreds and hundreds of people to come to the house. And we've had musical demonstrations. The choir from the elementary school there on Congress Street comes over and performs. And it's been a great family tradition we've established. But obviously this year, we can't do an indoor event. So we've been talking about what we want to do is to decorate and light up the house on the outside, including trees around the house, so that it'll be a place where people can drive through. And we understand that Charlestown and Ranson are both combining to do a sort of an outdoor lighting Christmas event this year, where they're going to identify people's houses who have decorated, and it'll be sort of a driving tour of Christmas decorations. And so we want Happy Retreat to be part of that tour. And for those of you who've been to Happy Retreat, you may remember that there's a circle on the left-hand side where the driveway goes around in a circle, and there's a holly tree in the middle of that, and that holly tree is pictured there on the left. And so we're hoping to decorate that with lights. And then there are 7 or 8 smaller, like dogwood and smaller ornamental trees around the house, which we want to decorate with lights also. And then we will, as you see the decorations from the front door from last year, we'll do all of that and have in fact, Marty Cable is making lights for us that will be able to illuminate the front of the house. And so we'll be able to show off the front of the house with all the Christmas decorations, traditional Christmas decorations, but then also have the lights all around it. So we're very excited, and we want to build on this going forward, because we want more and more things to be going on at Christmas at Happy Retreat in the years ahead. So moving from outdoors, which is what we've been doing in the past, from indoors to outdoors is an exciting step forward, and we're kind of driven that way by conditions this year, but we hope to build on it next year. And so we'll have both indoors and outdoors going forward. So we're still really in the early planning stages of this, but we hope to involve the community. It would be so easy for community groups, Rotary and other groups, to take one of the small trees. They're regular, just 8 or 10 foot dogwood trees, and take on the project of providing lights and decorating that tree. And if we can get 8 or 10 of those done, and then we're probably going to need about $2,000, we think, to decorate the holly tree, which is about 45 feet tall. So that's what we're trying to do in a fairly short amount of time. So any ideas that you all would have for helping us with that would be greatly appreciated. So that's kind of my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I just wanted to let everybody know that if you look in the chat function for the Zoom meeting, which should be if you don't have it open, you can kind of see it along the bottom bar of your screen, or if you're on your phone, you can pull it up through that format as well. But I shared the happyretreat.org website. So if you want to, I think, go on and make donations, we can do that through your website. Is that right, Walter?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure our donation page is up right now. We're going through a website restructuring right now. I just haven't looked at it. I know that's going to be on the new one. Whether it's on the current one, I just don't know.
Great. Well, at least we know that their information is, if we want to look up your information and make a donation, we can do that way as well, individually or through the club. And I think there's the Rising Sun is your newsletter. Is that right as well?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Great newsletter. Nice updates from Happy Retreat as well throughout the year.
Yeah, thank you. The next issue will be coming out right at the beginning of December.
Great.
So anyway, even though we've had to cancel, normally we have a whole series of events at Happy Retreat. We have, of course, the Craft Beer and Music Festival. We have concerts in the house. We have lectures in the house. All of that we've had to cancel for the year. And I don't know, who knows when we'll be getting back into all of that, all of those activities. Certainly not until next summer at the earliest, I would think.
Without getting too nitty gritty, Walter, if you don't mind, I think that one of the things, at least certainly myself, having a background in nonprofits, to know how much, and Rotarians certainly understand this as well as a nonprofit themselves, but the impact that this year has probably had because of having to eliminate those fundraisers, which are probably a huge portion of your operating budget. If you're comfortable sharing that information, what would you typically expect in a normal year, and what impact has that, had on you all?
Well, probably we would normally are those kind of event fundraising. I think we did sort of an averaging of about $20,000 of different kinds of event fundraising. Luckily, we have enough, in the bank to keep us going for, to keep the lights on for the next year. But certainly we've curtailed our other activities, and we're sort of doing the restoration we're doing. Luckily for some of the restoration, we've had specific donations for that restoration earmarked, so that's been helpful going forward. We've applied for a number of grants. We just received a grant from the Two Rivers Giving Fund. We've applied to the Eastern West Virginia Community Foundation they have a emergency COVID-19 emergency fund, which we've applied to. So there are other these small ways of getting support. But yeah, it's certainly been the beer festival is always a thing that's kind of our big event of the year. Our first year, we had 1,500 people. Our second year, we had 1,800 people. So that's always been kind of the one of the pillars of our fundraising. So going without that has been a real setback. But we're in good financial shape, at least for the next year, to keep us going.
And one of the other things that just occurred to me, I don't know if many other Rotarians know this, but a few years ago, if you don't mind speaking on this, a few years ago, Happy Retreat was named to, I think that it's the National Trust. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, the National Trust for Historic Preservation, who has been very helpful to us, really from day one. In 2016, I think it was, gave us the designation of a national treasure. And at the time, there were only 75 other national treasures designated in the whole country, including the Grand Canyon. And so it was the first one in West Virginia. So we were very, very honored to get that designation. And we were very grateful to the Trust for all of the work and support they've given us over the years.
Well, I think it's a great accolade, and wonderful that you all are continuing your good work and able to continue the work of Happy Retreat, especially under these circumstances. So it's exciting to hear what you guys have got going on, and certainly the enduring commitment that you've all had since day one as Friends of Happy Retreat. You've got an incredible group of people. So
yeah, we do.
I'm glad to know you guys are still making plans for Christmas and other.
Yeah, but we're gonna in January we'll at least start planning for the beer festival. We don't know whether we'll be able to have it. Also, this past year was going to be this current year, 2020, was going to be kind of a gala year because it's the 240th anniversary of Happy Retreat. It's the 250th anniversary of my home, Harewood, and the 220th anniversary of Claymont. So we had all these plans to do, big gala events this year, that being the anniversary year. But those have all, hopefully next year, next year we'll do the 240th plus one. So, but anyway, we're still moving forward. Yep.
Excellent. Well, if anybody would like to ask Walter any questions, certainly we'll field those. I know I've talked a whole bunch, but we'll give them a few more minutes, and then we'll go on to our announcements.
Walter, this is Carol Cable.
Yeah, hi, Carol.
Hi. I'd just like to ask that National Treasury designation that you had, with any money given with that? How does that work?
No, unfortunately, it's just an honor.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Congratulations then. I just thought, well, maybe you may have received some money as a result.
No, unfortunately, it was just an honorific, but something that gave us a lot of publicity around the country, and it was a good thing to get.
Yes. Okay. Well, congratulations on all of it, and I'm sure we'll all try to at least see and hopefully help with the decorations of the trees.
Great. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.